الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها فإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار ونعوذ بالله من النار. Respected ones in Islam, last week I stood before you here to share a remarkable hadith, a hadith from Jibreel alayhi salatu wassalam, advising our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And today I'm honored to share another hadith. This time is a valuable hadith or valuable advice from the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam to us, his ummah. A hadith that will benefit us in this world and the hereafter. So bear with me, respected ones in Islam, and follow me with an open heart and mind as we delve into the wisdom of the one whom Allah mentioned in the Quran, لا ينطق عن الهوى إن هو إلا وحي يوحى. Whatever our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, he doesn't say it out of his own inclination, out of his own desire, but wahyun yuha. It's a revelation revealed to him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentioned in Surah Al-Anfal, Quran 8:24, يا أيها الذين آمنوا استجيبوا لله وللرسول إذا دعاكم لما يحييكم واعلموا أن الله يحول بين المرء وقلبه وأنه إليه تحشرون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling us, and he said, oh you believers, respond to Allah and respond to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he calls you to that which will give you life, and know that Allah stands between a person and their heart, and وَعْلَمُوا أَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْهِ تُحْشَرُونَ, and know that to him you shall all return. Respected ones in Islam, I am certain, without shred of doubt, that all of us seated here today have once heard this hadith, because it's also a widespread hadith, a well-known hadith from the noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And as I continue to say, always hear that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And continue to remind the believers, for indeed the reminder will surely benefit believers. Respected ones in Islam, Al-Hakim in his book Al-Mustadrak and Al-Bayhaqi in his book Shu'b al-Iman and others narrated a hadith from Abdullah ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him. He said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, advising a man, and this advice doesn't go to only that person, but it goes to me and you, to all of us. And he said, اغتنم خمسا قبل خمس شبابك قبل هرمك وصحتك قبل سقمك وغناك قبل فقرك وفراغك قبل شغلك وحياتك قبل موتك. This is a golden advice Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave to a man by using a phrase "igtanim," which means to maximize, to utilize, to take advantage of, to seize the opportunity of 5 things before 5. You have to take opportunities, take advantage of a specific situation that will benefit you, that will shape your life before that opportunity slip away. While many of us today focus on enjoying the benefit of this world, our righteous predecessors devoted all their time worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's not to say that as a Muslim, you should neglect your benefit of this dunya. As Allah said in the Holy Quran, وَلَا تَنْسَى نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. And don't forget your portion, your share of this dunya. So as a Muslim, you have to live good, you have to eat good, you have to stay healthy, but make sure that you balance the life. Whilst searching for dunya, make sure you always also remember your share or your portion of akhirah. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, Surah Al-A'raf, Allah said, قُلْ مَنْ حَرَّمَ زِينَةَ اللَّهِ الَّتِي أَخْرَجَ لِعِبَادِهِ وَالطَّيِّبَاتِ مِنَ الرِّزْقِ قُلْ هِيَ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا خَالِصَةً يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ كَذَلِكَ نُفَصِّلُ الْآيَاتِ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْلَمُونَ. Allah said, ask them, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ask them who has forbidden the adornment and lawful provisions Allah has brought forth for His servants. Say, they are for the enjoyment of the believers in this worldly life, but they will be exclusively theirs on the day of judgment. So whatever good in this life is for you, a Muslim. But seeking what is good, don't forget to also seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as a Muslim, you should utilize every good opportunity that comes your way in this life. Let me share a story of Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. When he had an opportunity to have a conversation between himself and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him a question, وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ يَا مُوسَى? What is that you are holding on your hand? Prophet Musa sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he can easily answer and say, that's my staff. I'm holding a stick. But because he wants to prolong the conversation between him and Almighty Allah, because he wants to seize that opportunity, he wants to take that advantage to utilize it to his benefit, he said, هي عصاي أتوكل عليها وأهش بها على غنمي ولي فيها مآرب أخرى. He said, this is my staff, I lean on them and I use it to strike shrubs to feed my animals, and I have numerous other things that I use the staff to do. And Allah asked him, قال ألقيها يا موسى فألقاها فإذا هي حية تسعى. So he prolonged the conversation between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him to go to Fir'aun, to call Fir'aun to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Prophet Musa can easily go, but he said, قال رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. He's enjoying the conversation between himself and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as a Muslim, whenever you had the opportunity of this life for your benefit, you have to maximize those opportunities. So the Prophet Muhammad said, "Yaqtanim khamsan qabla khamsin." Take advantage of 5 things before 5. The first is shababaka qabla haramik. He said, your youthfulness. Take advantage of your youthfulness before your old age. Why did Prophet mention your youthfulness? At this stage of life, this transition, you are very energetic. You are enthusiastic. You have the zeal. You have the desire for everything that you want to do. So you have to maximize your state of youthfulness in worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because this stage is a stage that you also face numerous temptations. You face numerous temptations. From gaming, watching movies, going to party, and doing other stuff. Because you are very energetic. You can ask your parents, even at their old age, they have a time for those luxury life. So at this stage, you have to maximize it in worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to maximize it in seeking knowledge. You have to maximize it in elevating the image of Islam. But what do we see nowadays? Within our youth, they use this stage of their life, wasting it on other things that will not benefit them. So Prophet ﷺ said, take advantage of your youthfulness before your old age. How many of us at this transition period of their life use those opportunities to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How many of us even pray in Jama'ah at this stage of their life? Now when you go to the mosque, the first, second, third row, all those you will see are aged people. The youth are neglecting salat. And you don't have any excuse. Because Prophet Muhammad said, أول ما يحاسب به العبد يوم القيامة الصلاة. The first thing that you'll be questioned about on the day of judgment is your prayer. If your prayer is good, then the rest of your deed will be good. But if your prayer is bad, then you are going to be questioned among the rest of your work. So maximize, seize the opportunity of a youthful stage to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned in a hadith that on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put 7 categories of people under his shade. The day that there is no shade, except the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And among these 7 categories of people, he mentioned وَشَابٌ نَشَأَ فِي عِبَادَةِ اللَّهِ, and a young person who devoted all his life at that stage worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How many of us, youth of this day, even fast the nawafil, the optional fasting on Mondays and Thursdays? How many of us? How many of us stand at night praying? How many of us even pay sadaqah? You have a luxury of time. Don't waste that time. Don't waste that opportunity. Youth, you have a role to play in Islam. The youth of Zumunta, you have a role to elevate this association, this community. But how many of us do we do that? Do we play that role? We leave everything to the elders. Prophet ﷺ mentioned you specifically. Say, وَشَابٌ نَشَأَ فِي عِبَادَةِ اللَّهِ, and a youth person, a young man who devoted his time worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In another hadith, Prophet ﷺ said, hadith of Abdul ibn Mas'ud, Prophet ﷺ said, لا تزول قدم عبد يوم القيامة حتى يسأل عن أربع, that the feet of a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not move an inch Your faith will not move an inch on the day of judgment till you are questioned about 4 things. And among it, he mentioned that an umrihi fima afnahu wa an shababihi fima ablahu. And that stage of your youthfulness, what did you utilize it for? What did you utilize it for? You can spend hours watching Netflix. You spend hours watching YouTube videos. How many hours do you spend? How many minutes do you spend to read the Quran? How many minutes? And know that Allah said, وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا وَنَحْشُرُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَعْمَى قال رب لما حشرتني أعمى وقد كنت بصيرا قال كذلك أتتك آياتنا فنسيتها وكذلك اليوم تنسى ومن أعرض عن ذكري, those who turn back, who turn away from my remembrance, from reading Quran, Allah said فإن لهم معيشة ضنكا, to them will be a difficult life. See, you have everything, but you live in difficulties. This your heart is overburdened with stress because you neglect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You neglect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that your youthful stage. The opposite is that Allah said, وَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you are thankful to me, I'll bless you more. I'll give you more. So at this stage, if you have that time, devote that time in worshiping, devote that time in taking care of your family, devote that time in uplifting the image of Islam. But that not to say you should forget your portion of this dunya. Respected ones in Islam, that's the first advice our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave to us. Now we shouldn't neglect our youthfulness. We should utilize that stage to benefit us. We should take that advantage of that stage. And the second advice he said, وَصِحَّتَكَ قَبْلَ سَقَمِكَ. Take advantage of your health before sickness. When you are healthy, make sure you take advantage of that blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed upon you. If you are healthy, you can stand all night in prayer. If you are healthy, you can go to work. If you are healthy, you can do whatever ibadah that you want to do. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, take advantage of that time before your sickness. Why is this so? Sick people normally cannot worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as compared to a healthy person. Even you can take yourself as an example. When you are healthy, your ibadah is different from when you are sick. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, take advantage of that. Your strength, the time that you have strength of body, strength of mind, all to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all to help your community, all to help mankind. It's very important before sickness strike. Because when sickness strike, and you used to pray, you used to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the time that you are in good health, you will equally get the reward. But if you neglect ibadah and you are sick, don't say that you are going to be rewarded as the person who used to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his good health. Okay. So Prophet ﷺ said, take advantage of your good health before your sickness. And the third thing he said, وَغِنَاكَ قَبْلَ فَقَرِكَ. Take advantage of your wealth before poverty. If you are wealthy, Use that money, spend that money on your family. That is first thing. If you are a wealthy person, there are so many people that they used to spend outside their family for people to praise them. That's not Islam. First, you start with your family, your immediate family. Use your wealth to take care of them. As Prophet ﷺ said, even a morsel or milk, a morsel of food, if you place it in the mouth of your wife, you are going to be rewarded. So use your wealth to help Islam, to give sadaqah, to pay zakat. Now, how many of us even pay zakat? How many of us? Wallah, you have the means. Some they don't know, but that's not an excuse. If you're a Muslim, you have money, and that money reaches nisab, and a year has passed by that money, you have to pay zakat. Or else, on the day of judgment, Allah said in Surah At-Tawbah, يوم تقوى بها جباههم وظهورهم هذا ما كنزتم لأنفسكم فذوقوا ما كنتم تكنزون. If you deny to pay zakat, that wealth of yours is going to be turned into something else to be punishing you on the day of judgment. So you take advantage of your wealth to help your family and help others. And the Prophet Muhammad said, وَفَرَاغَكَ قَبْلَ شُغْلِكَ. Take advantage of your free time, the time that you are free before your preoccupation, the time that you are free. Take advantage of those times before you get busy. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب والخطيئة فاستغفروه يغفر لكم إنه هو الغفور الرحيم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Respected ones in Islam, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is giving us this advice to take advantage of our free time before our preoccupation. The time that we are free, use those time judiciously. Use those time wisely. Spend those time to your advantage. Because everything that a believer do must be something that will benefit him. Don't use your free time in browsing internet all day, social media. Some of us can WhatsApp from dawn to dusk. Always on your phone, chatting, unnecessary chats. You send this one message, you send this one message, you send this one message, unnecessary. We often use our time watching movies. Your free time supposed to benefit you. Use that free time to learn your deen. Use those free time to learn, to do ibadah. I know many of us work 8 hours in a warehouse. Even you don't get even time to pray Zuhur. You don't get time to pray Asr. You don't get time to pray Maghrib. And on their holidays, the day that they are on holidays, that they get free time, instead to use that time to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they also use that time to sleep, to browse, to chat. As a Muslim, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, to take advantage of our free time before we get busy. And the last advice that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, وَحَيَاتَكَ قَبْلَ مَوْتِكَ. Take advantage of your life before death catches you. Because when the angel of death visits you, there is no returning back. So at this time that you are living, take advantage of that. And Prophet ﷺ put this as his last advice to us. Whilst you live, you should take advantage. Because death is just by the corner. No matter how long we live, as we mentioned last week, no matter how long we live, we will exit. We will exit this earth. So once you are living, make sure that your acts of these should be in accordance to the Sharia, to the tenet of Islam. Because whatever you gain, whatever you amass, you are going to leave it. And those you are going to leave it to, what are they going to use it for? Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, on his deathbed, he was asked, Ya Amir al-Mu'minin, Ya Umar, ماذا تركت لأولادك? What have you left for your heirs, for your children? He said, تركت لهم الله ورسوله. I've left with them Allah and His Messenger. If they are good, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect them, will take care of them. But if they are bad people, even if I leave to them the wealth of Karun, it will never benefit them. So this advice goes to me and you. Once you are alive, make sure you train your children on the path of Islam. Get time for your children. Don't use all your time amassing dollars. Don't use all your time building. Take your children to where Islamic teachings are going on, so that they can learn about Islam, so that when you die, they will pray for you. So that when you die, they will always remember you. So that when you die, they will use part of what you leave to give sadaqah for you. But if you leave vagabonds, if you leave children without tarbiyah, wallahi, if you die, they are going to mismanage your wealth. And that wealth will not even benefit them. And you are going to answer the questions on the wealth that you amass. None of your children will answer for you. So take advantage of your life to train your children. And I know how difficult it is to train children here, but try your best. Try your best to put them on the right path. And always also pray and guide them, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to also guide them. Because your wealth, as mentioned in the hadith, is what you give to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what you leave behind is not yours, it's for your heirs. As I speak to you, my grandmother passed away yesterday evening. And she passed away peacefully. As I was told, she was praying, and the daughter was just sitting by her. And she kept long praying, and the daughter turned to ask her, haven't you finished? That's it. That's the end. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive her. May Allah forgive her and enlighten her tomb. All of us have our parents, our loved ones who are gone before us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive them. We are here, most of us want papers so that they can continue to live here peacefully. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant them. Our younger generations that are here, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to open the doors of success for them. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our elders, from our president, the vice president, the treasurer, the king, chiefs of this mosque, the ulama, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all of us here. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow the elders to deal justly with the youth. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the youth also always obey and respect the elders. اللهم اعز الاسلام والمسلمين واذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر اعداءك اعداء الدين انصر بارك الموحدين في كل مكان. اللهم امنا في اوطاننا واصلح ائمتنا ولاة امورنا واجعلهم هداة مهتدين يا رب العالمين. اللهم اغفر لجميع موتى المسلمين الذين شهدوا لك بالوحدانيه ولنبيك بالرساله وماتوا على ذلك. اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم وعافهم واعف عنهم واكرم نزلهم ووسع مدخلهم واغسلهم بالماء والثلج والبرد ونقيهم من الذنوب والخطايا كما نقى الثوب الابيض من الدنس. اللهم ابدلهم دارا خيرا من دارهم واهلا خيرا من اهلهم وادخلهم الجنه واعذهم من عذاب القبر وعذاب النار. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا الا غفرته ولا هم الا فرجته ولا دين الا قضيته ولا مريضا الا شفيته ولا ميتا الا رحمته ولا مبتلا الا عافيته ولا حاجه من حوائج الدنيا والاخره هي لك رضا ولنا فيها صلاح الا انتنا على قضائها ويسرتها برحمتك يا رب الراحمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم انا نسالك من خير ما سالك منه عبدك نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ويبارك الصالحون ونذوق من الشر ما استعاذك منه عبدك نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ويبارك الصالحون. اللهم انا نسالك من الخير كله عاجل واجل ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم ونذوق من الشر كله عاجل واجل ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم. ربنا ظلمنا انفسنا وان لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار. يا الله يا رحمن يا من لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا احد اقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا انك انت التواب الرحيم واغفر لنا انك انت الغفور الرحيم. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم. سبحان ربك رب العزه عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وقوموا الى الصلاه.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا عليه تسعوا استووا استقيموا في راس الجنة. استووا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم. الله أكبر. الله الحميدة. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدع اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون. الله أكبر. بسم الله الحمد الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Shukran, Ya Sheikh. We appreciate your effort of reminding us the learning of our deen. Inshallah, may Allah reward you. And your grandma, may Allah accept her shortcomings, inshallah. May Allah forgive her, and may Allah forgive those who passed before us. I don't have much to say, but as in a short surah, it says, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. So deal with it, and may Allah reward you all. I don't have much to say, like I said. I'll give tafsir. إن الحمد لله يوم تستعد نعمله ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ. السلام عليكم.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hajj Amda, thank you. May Allah bless you. Allah continue to bless you for us. Brothers, I have something to share with all of you. We have a brother with the name Brother Musa. Brother Musa, he is a Caribbean, Canadian, and now a Ghanaian. He has been going to Ghana for the past 11 years. He built a house in Ghana. He loved Ghana more than Grenada himself. Anytime he goes to Ghana, he just want to be in Ghana. The most important is he became a Muslim in Canada some years, about 25 years ago. Brother Fulani man can tell us exactly the time he became a Muslim. Because of him, we know the brother Musa in our community. I'm talking about brother Faisal, the Fulani guy, the guy with no hair. That is the guy who brought this Musa in our community. He was a good Muslim. He's a good Muslim. So because of that, we try to help him out with anything that he needed concerning Islam. So he told me he wanted to go to Ghana some 11 years ago. I thought he's joking. So I went with him one time. He stayed in my house. I gave him a key to stay for a month. When we came back, before we come back, he said, man, I fall in love in this country. If I have a woman, I'll get married. In short, he loved Ghana to the point that he wants to stay in Ghana and live the rest of his life in Ghana. He has 4 kids in Canada. He only come and visit and go to Ghana. He's now about 74 years old. But Allah has tested him with sickness. The house he built is about 100 by 100 in Ghana. Big house, nice, everything's ready. If you see the house, you will like it. But I can tell you, he never slept in that house even once. He's always want to be in my house because my house is in the city. When they make a azan, he can hear to pray. He like that more. The place he have is a new place. What I want you guys to understand is that this guy become a Muslim and he doesn't joke with Islam. He loves Islam as much as he can. He has been contributing to this masjid, even though he's sick, he's dying right now, so I'm talking to you. He made me cry yesterday. He said, Brother Nuruddin, they want to bring me to Canada because I can't sit, I can't stand, I cannot even lie down. This is Brother Musa, that's what he's telling me yesterday. My heart was broken so bad that he's a brother that I know and I fall in love with him. My family back home, everybody sees Brother Musa, they take him like a family member. So telling me that yesterday break my heart. But what I learned from it is that he told me, I have 4 kids, I want you to be the father of those kids. And they are grown, there's no baby among them. And they are not Muslims. I don't know how can I be a father of these guys. They are already grown. But he is a good Muslim. Even as he's dying, he's asking me to give him Zumunta Canada, so because last year, the whole year, he couldn't pay his dues. Not knowing he talked to Abbas before he left. And Abbas said, don't worry about it. You are now on a pension and you cannot pay now, you're sick. Just forget about it. We're supposed to help you. At this age, we're supposed to help you. You don't have to pay no dues. But still, yesterday he reminds me, he needs the Zumunta something. He thinks that we owe him something. So you have to pay. I said, no. Wallah, he said, no, he took it and he's paid. He said he don't want to come to Canada. He wants us to bury him in Ghana. Because he can't stand, he can't sit, he's very, very sick. So brothers, we know today, we don't know tomorrow. If somebody tells me that this guy will finish his house and tell me something like that yesterday, well, I would say no. We love the country, we love everything about our country, we want to be there, but the sickness is in the way. He has to do dialysis 3 times a week. Now his shoulder is falling apart, his legs are broken. It's too much things. He needs our prayers, brothers. Let us pray for him. And then I told him one thing. I said, sickness and death are 2 separate things. You can fall sick and come back to life, as Allah wish. And you don't have to sick. You can be a strong man, like my bodyguard, standing there. You can be strong like that, but if the time comes for you to go, the Malaika will just take you like a paper. You will go. So you don't have to sick to die. That can happen to you at any time. So for us to take a lesson from this, guys, let us rush and do what will benefit us in the cup.
إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات.
Killing me! So that's my advice, my brother. Everybody should think about this. We are doing the same thing he's doing. He knows he's going to be okay and sleep in that house. But now he's talking about death. Let's learn from that. Let's let the deen to be the number one priority. If you want to go to Umrah, don't wait for next year. Please go. You want to go to Hajj, you've never been to Hajj, and you know it's fard on you. You have to be in Hajj as a Muslim if you can. Because if you can't and you don't go, and you pass away today, Allah will ask you Yawm al-Qiyamah. Guys, this is my advice for all of you. If you can go to Hajj, you keep on building houses. That's not what Allah asks you to do. I'm doing the job for this shiur. This is their job for them to tell us. Sheikh, did Allah ask us to continue to build house and forget about Hajj? Hajj is fard. You have to go to Hajj as a Muslim if you can afford it. If you keep stingy and you pass away, that question will be there on you to answer. May Allah continue to give us iman. And Brother Musa, may Allah give you shifa. I want all of us to come together and recite Surah Al-Fatiha for this brother and our grandmother that passed away. So let us come together and recite Surah Al-Fatiha for these people. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Over